What's up guys, Thomas back for another video, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Today we're doing our first and inaugural review on a cars. And there's no better car than to start these car reviews than with something that's pretty close to me, the Acura line. This one is the Acura ILX. So come with me as we go for a test drive and I give you my initial impressions. So in 2016, the Acura ILX did get a refresh, and this model is a good representation of that. All right, so let's take a closer look at the exterior here. Let's start with the front. And as you can see, we have the beak-like signature Acura grille. This came out a long time ago. They haven't changed this design to the newer language of Acura with the MDX and the RDX. So this is the last car to get that change, although this is a 2018 car. But the thing to notice here is those headlights, those dual headlights. This is an all LED headlight. So we have the low beams of the first three from the right, and the two inner ones are the high beams. This car also has the daytime run lights, which are LEDs, which are built into the actual housing, and the turn signal also are full LEDs. So here's a nice little side profile of the car here. So this is the Acura ILX Special Edition. It looks like the A-Spec version. If you're familiar with Acura design, the A-Spec is the highest version with all the accessories. The best way to describe the ILX Special Edition is to think of it as a base ILX with the A-Spec accessories or body kit. So the first thing you notice here are the wheels. These are 18-inch wheels. These are the same wheels found on the A-Spec and premium version. They also added the side sills right here. So it's a lower valence, gives the car a more aggressive look. And from right here, the car has a really nice profile. I mean, this is a really beautiful car. The rear taillights, which are pretty distinctive, they're all LED as well. And to cap it off, you have that rear deck spoiler. The other side is the same. You have that antenna there. This one is not equipped with the GPS. It's essentially a base model with the exterior upgrades of an A-Spec model. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the engine bay here. So what we have here is Acura's or Honda's 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder engine, naturally aspirated, non-turbocharged. Engine in this configuration does produce 201 horsepower and 180 foot-pounds of torque. This is mated to a 8-speed dual clutch transmission. It's the only available transmission for this car in 2018. So let's go inside, take a look at the interior, and then we'll go for a test drive. I have this nice Acura key fob right here. You can keep the keys in your pocket. All you have to do is put your hand behind here, and it's unlocked. Oh yeah. All right, nice thunk. Pretty solid, doesn't sound too tinny. It's really warm outside, so let's start the engine here. There's no keyhole here. It's a push button start. Put the foot in the brakes, and there he goes. Okay, so the first thing I see here is this nice black trim here, this black interior. Everything here is black except the roof lining here. That's the only exception here because this is not the A-Spec version. This is just a special edition. So if you did want a black roof, you will have to go to the A-Spec version. All right, so all we have here is you have some nice soft plastic material here. You have these window switches here, auto up and down in the front seats only. The two rear windows are just manual, power locks, power mirrors, the whole nine. It's an Acura, so that should be there by default. You have these speakers here in the doors, and I come along here, we have these vents. They look pretty normal, standard vent. You have this nice flowing interior design, which is, I think, typical of Acura. The steering wheel is the first thing, or the next thing I notice is right there in your face. It's really uniform. All you have is this shiny, very, very shiny chrome Acura logo here, and a lot of switches and buttons here. But it looks good. It's the right size. It's not too big, not too small. It's smaller than my car, actually. It's leather wrapped in black leather and also has black stitching around the steering wheel. If you do have the A-Spec version, you will have a contrasting stitching on the steering wheel to give you some more aggressive look. The gauge cluster here looks good as well. Very clear and readable analog gauges. Not too crazy, no color display, just some simple, I guess, an LCD background there. And you have your switches here on your steering wheel to control to see what you have here. As you can see, it's really hot outside, and this car has only 626 miles, so it's very, very new. The theme goes along here. You have these silver trims right here as well. And you have these paddle shifters, and we'll see how those work. It's not metallic, but it has a nice little click to it. All the stuff here in the steering wheel, you have a lot of controls, although this is almost a base model. Startups like this, spoke about that earlier. So the most controversial thing of the Acuras as of late was the center console. Typically you have this two-tier console here where you normally have a screen here for your navigation. This is a modified base model, so this doesn't have the navigation. And another screen up here for your reverse camera, and for stuff like radio and climate control, which we have down here. That never goes away. Pretty straightforward. This is very clean. The knob is it's a little weighted, and you have this little plastic or rubberized knob, so it does have good grip to it. It does look good. I don't know how this is going to look in 5 to 10 years from now, but that's your option to get the non-navigation version of this car. Below that you have the climate control, same kind of rubberized feel and same weight, so that's good. It is a dual climate control, so you can control each side individually. This thing is pretty cool. You do have heated rear windows and heated mirrors, so that's awesome once you hit that. You go along here and you have some more like plastic. I think they're trying to make it feel and look like leather. I don't know how this is going to stand up to the elements in a couple of years, but for right now, it looks pretty good. It gives you that same matte look. Go across here, and same thing. You just have this speaker in the window, and the passenger side is pretty basic and simple. You have this little aluminum here on the dash. Besides that, the center console, you have this shifter that's leather wrapped as well, just like the steering wheel, same color stitching, and then you have your passenger and your driver's heated seat control, just high and low. You come down here, there's just 2 cup holders, your parking brake, which is also leather wrapped, and then you have your center armrest, which is nicely padded, and it's not that deep. It's starting to rain, so let's get my camera gear out. All right, we're in the car now. We're gonna go for a test drive here. It's raining pretty heavily, and it's not gonna let up, but this is typical Florida weather. So everything is adjusted here. Let's go put this in reverse. As you can see, there's a reverse camera, and you have different views. You can change the view. That's the wide view. Here's your really close or top down view. If you're gonna back into, like, do some parallel parking, that'll be a down view. I think the normal view is actually the best. There's no trajectory, so if I change the steering wheel left to right, there's no changing just the distance on here. So I'm gonna reverse a little bit. I can see I'm closer to gravel. All right, here we go. I have it in drive, normal mode. Let's go here. This road is kind of bumpy, and so far it feels okay. It doesn't feel really premium. It feels like a light car, which it is. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so if you can hear that, it's shifting pretty fast. It is a dual clutch, so that's pretty cool. Since there's no cars on the road here, I can do a little bit of slalom here. Alright, the car is responsive. These are on all-season tires, so it's not the best tire. It does respond pretty good. The initial turn is pretty sharp, but there is some softness to the suspension. I was hoping that it'd be a little bit tighter, but it works pretty well. So this is normal mode. Give some gas here. Works pretty good. Alright, so I'm familiar with this road right here. There's a little bit of zigzaggy, aggressive roads here. So I'm going to put it in sport mode. And immediately it bumps it up. There it goes. So this is going to hold the revs a little bit higher. I'm also going to use the paddle shifters as well. Here you go, second gear. This is the next couple seconds should be very aggressive. I can test the suspension out. Feels good. Alright, so VTEC does kick in a little bit there at 5,000 RPM. Brakes feel really good. Back to second gear. Transmission speed is pretty good too. Engine has a good note to it. So let's try this manual transmission again. Pretty good. Alright, so the power is there. It feels like a 4-cylinder engine. The torque is a lot better than your traditional older Honda engines here. Let's try a standstill one more time here. Alright, so we're in sport mode manual. Traction control. Alright, so it should speed it quickly. Alright, take it out of sport mode here. Quiet her down a little bit. Alright, so engine seems pretty good. It's a new engine. And here you are, back to your normal day-to-day commute, and it shifts right down. It's so quiet. I'm getting 36 miles per gallon right now. And if for some reason you want to hit the gas and overtake, it knows what to do. It is predictable. It's not very sluggish. But if it does, you have the option to use the paddle shifters even in drive mode. So now you can just pass someone if you wanted to. And then after a couple seconds, it goes back into its normal drive mode. Let's see if it does it. Yep. So it goes into its normal driving mode, and now we have the regular driving mode here, so that's good. It shifts really early in the normal mode, which is good for fuel economy. Can't complain about that. Wow. It is quiet. This road is very, very, very smooth. It's actually a little bit drier here now too as well, but the road here is very smooth. Road noise, not much. These are new tires as well, so I don't expect anything bad from these tires. Need vibration or road noise. It's not as quiet as the TLs and the TLX that I've driven before in the past, and I'm doing 40 miles an hour. But I guess what I'm trying to say, I can hear a lot of wind noise, and we're just doing 40 miles an hour. So I can expect maybe at highway speeds it might be a little bit noisy with the wind. Yeah, this dual clutch really upshifts quickly. I'm looking out here the back window, and it's good visibility. Good visibility on the side if you have to pass or make a switch of lanes, then there's good visibility on both sides. One thing about me, I'm a very crucial reviewer or critiquer, and I think the ergonomics of the car, it's really good. The steering wheel placement is really good. My hands fit really well. The steering wheel isn't too thin. It's not big either. The paddle shifters are right here. There's not much feedback from the steering wheel though. And I think this is the electric steering here. So taking the corners or taking some bumps, there's not much feedback as far as what the front wheels are doing left or right. Acura didn't go with the direct, that's what I'm saying, that's my terminology, direct dual clutch. This dual clutch does have a torque converter, so it does dampen the switches. When you do switch, so it's a little bit less aggressive. So the torque converter does help a little bit. It is smoother. But it does rev freely. This red line is 6,800 RPMs, and it works pretty great. But yeah, very good car. If you have the money looking for an entry-level car, maybe you have a little bit more money to spend on a car besides a Honda Civic or Ford Focus, or maybe even a Golf GTI, this is a good option. Those are all in the same horsepower range. The Ford Focus, the ST at least, has the advantage with the power, but they're all in around the 200 horsepower range. So with that said, on the bakery rating system, out of 5 loaves of bread, I would rate this a 4.5 loaves out of 5. It's a good car. The exterior is amazing. It looks really great. The only reason it doesn't get a whole 5 stars is because I'm a little bit worried about the center console here. How is it going to age with technology changing? I think the interior is nice, but I think it's going to get dated really quick. And that's not to knock. This is a big part of it. This is what you're looking at. But there's nothing to grow with. You don't have any color LCD or any digital speedometer, digital tachometer. It is very accurate and fast. You have no digital or multi-function display here. So what you have here is what you have. The good thing, it has keyless entry. The exterior is, I think, on par. The best thing about the car. I think it's going to age pretty well, and I prefer this actual language or style of the front and the rear opposed to the new design language that the Acura is going with. So I do think it has that going for itself. It's all LED, so you're not going to have the issue of it looking old in the future. It is future ready in that sense. So with that said, that's a good score. I highly recommend it. If you do have the opportunity to get one of these used, or even new if you have the money for it, you might want to get one of these. Maybe go into the premium package or the navigation package, or even the A-Spec if you have the extra coin. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time, peace! What the hell? This guy almost ran off the road. All right, so damn, man, mosquitoes. Typical Florida crap. Weather changes so quickly. Is there anything? All right, I tried. Can you believe it's starting to rain? Damn. Someone got through it again, looking at me. Everything's weird. People just nosy.